Okay, hello and welcome to Itbonenut Jewish Psychology. Let's understand today how to overcome anxiety. Or before we'll understand how to overcome anxiety, we have to understand what is it, anxiety, and why do we suffer from anxiety. Anxiety, it's a very natural emotion. What does it mean natural? It's not natural to have confidence, to have trust, to be full of happiness, to not to believe that something bad is going to happen. Why? Because this is the way we were created. We do not know what will happen in the next moment. And because we do not know what will happen in the next moment, we can only evaluate. And when you can only evaluate, it's very natural to think that bad things will happen to you. And anxiety, it's a fear, kind of a fear from the future that something bad, something undesirable, something that I won't be able to control will happen to me. And whenever you have an anxiety, it's like you think and it's very natural and it's very true thing that you do not control the future. You cannot control the future. And because I cannot control the future, I think that undesirable thing will happen to me. I will lose my job. I won't be able to pay my mortgage. Everything is going up. And the more I talk about undesirable things, about the future, about what could happen in the future, the more I have this emotion that arose in me and start to manifest in different ways. So what we are trying to say, thoughts about what will happen and what is going to happen if I want to do that, and if this will happen and if that will happen. Thoughts are only the manifestation of the emotion. Anxiety is the emotion that try to find ways in order to manifest itself. And the more I have what to lose, the more I can be fear of what I'm about to lose. And we can see that now we are in the best area of humankind ever, I think, with all this technology development. And I know there are parts of the world, we all know that there are parts in the world that are not a part of this success, but they enjoy in a way this success. So I'm trying to say it's the best period ever in humankind. Still, most people suffer from anxiety. Still, most people are not happy. Still, you won't find confidence as the major emotion that control the world, that people are walking with confidence and trust and believe in themselves and believe in the future and believe that they have value and believe in what they need to do. And the effect of the emotion, let me maybe explain that. The effect of the emotion on the body could be so odd. It all depends on the level of anxiety and depression that we're talking about. Depression and anxiety are not the same thing. When you have high levels of anxiety, what is happening? Let's understand first the mechanism of the emotions. We explained that in this channel a few times, but let's explain it again from a different perspective. It's such an important and deep idea. What's the idea? It says emotions are a manifestation or attributes that comes from the soul. What is the soul? The soul is the power of life. What's the role of the soul? To give life to the body. The more accurate this liveliness or this animation of powers that comes from the soul in the body, the more healthy we are. What is to be healthy? Healthy in Judaism is to be complete. It's that you have an harmonic amount of liveliness that occur in your life and in your body. What does it mean? Let's understand that from another perspective. When I am in stress, or when I am angry, or when I'm in anxiety, the amount of the emotions manifest themselves not in the right way. What does it mean? That one emotion tries to control my body, and when this emotion tries to control my body, I don't have the right amount of liveliness, of animation that comes from the soul to the body. Think about somebody that is now angry. You try to talk to him, to explain to him few things, he cannot. Why? Because what does not work when you are angry, when you are upset, when you are depressed? What does not work? Your mind. You cannot contemplate. You cannot understand things. Try to talk with someone that has anxiety. Try to explain to him. Someone that have depression, try to explain to him how life is good and how everything is okay. You have few things in your life that are not perfect. Okay, we can understand that, but still, so many other things in your life are perfect. You cannot see that. Are not perfect. They are full of reasons to be happy, but you cannot see that. Why? Because your mind is narrow, is weak, and your emotion is strong. And when you have strong emotions that controls you, that means that this emotion is undesirable or negative. What does it mean that this emotion is negative? That it's manifesting itself in such a high level and in such a high power, so it does not let other attributes that comes from the soul, other powers that comes from the soul, to animate, to bring life, to manifest themselves in the body. As example, when you are in depression, what does not work? Your mind. When you are in anxiety, I'm trying to explain to you, things will happen all right. I'm trying to not to think even about what will happen, and you do not agree because you want to think about the bad things. It's like you want to say that you want it's maybe not the right way to the right choosing of words. Why? Because what does it mean that you want? There is some kind of pleasure in the negative emotions. You have to understand it very delicately, the very in a subtle way. What is the joy that I find in negative emotions? All the negative emotions, what stands behind them is me, the self, the egocentric, the thinking about me. What will happen to me? What is anxiety? What will happen to me? How will I be able to pay all my bills? How will I be able to? How people will think about me? Social anxiety. Doesn't matter. We can speak about all kinds of anxiety because the difference is only in the way they manifest themselves, not in the way the emotions wants to enlight in your body, in your mind. It's like in your thoughts, truly. So whenever I have such a power emotion that wants to control me, and when I have undesirable emotions, it wants to control me, and it's very natural emotion. You don't have to work on yourself in order to get out, to be anxiety, to fear. You don't have to work on yourself in order to be depressed or to be sad or to be jealous. It's a very natural thing because it's a part of my natural entity. I want something that I don't have, to be happy, to be in a confident way, to control your thoughts, to navigate your thoughts. It's not natural. It calls you to overcome something, to change your mindset, to see things differently. So the major question that we are facing now is how to overcome anxiety. We understood that it's an emotion that wants to manifest itself and want to control me. And why? Because I have curiosity. I want, what is all this kind of insurance? Why do we buy insurance? Because we want to insure ourselves to the future. And the more we have lack of confidence, the more we do not believe that everything will go great in the future, the more we lose confidence. What are we ready to do? To pay more for the insurance company. And we want to buy insurance for the future, but you cannot really buy real insurance. You can buy maybe the opportunity that someone will pay you back if something will happen, but you cannot prevent things from happening. And because of this thing, it's very easy to see, wow, what happened to him? To see all kinds of occasions of things that happened to other people and to say, wow, it could happen to me. And instead, what is confidence? That you think that good things are going to happen to you and everything is going to be just all right and it's going to be in the best way that you can think of. And a part of being confident is living in the moment, being existential, like feeling the moment and being concentrated in the moment and not thinking about the future or the past. Both of them, the future and the past, are like trying to catch me and to close on me. When I think about the future, I'm starting, it's not like planning what I want to do. It's not like having a vision. When I let the thoughts control me about the future, now I'm arrested by those thoughts. and they navigate. What they navigate, they control, they let my emotions control me. And when I'm being controlled by my emotions, I'm losing control on my life. I need emotions. Emotions are the most important power that we have in our life. Emotions are the engine of the soul. They are what push us forward. Without emotions, you won't get out of yourself and be connected to others. It's like emotions are a call, an engine. Go. Find unity, find connection, nullify yourself, try to be a part of, try to love, try to bring other people to your life. Other people, other things, doesn't matter. So emotions are an engine that take you out of yourself and brings you forward to your spouse, to your friends, to your, doesn't matter to whom. It could be a human being or not. When I think about the past, I'm like in chains thinking about how I was, and it's like self-accusation and not accepting myself and thinking about what happened to me. It's also me being arrested by thoughts that that let my emotions control me, instead of asking myself what is the right thing to do now. What do I need to do right now? What people needs from me right now? So let's a little bit conclude and understand what we want, how to overcome anxiety. So we understand anxiety, it's an emotion, a natural emotion that want to manifest itself in the thoughts. And when it manifests itself in the thoughts, whoever controls the thoughts controls our life, because the thoughts are only the garments, are only the clothes in which I let my emotions and my mind to get dressed in. Without thoughts are not the mind. How can you see? You can detach yourself from your thoughts. And when you can see your thoughts from behind, you can understand that you are not your thoughts. So we have the thoughts, and the emotions, the anxiety wants to control the thoughts. And through controlling the thoughts, we have a lot what to talk about the thoughts. We will talk about it later on. I want now to really understand the anxiety. And when you control the thoughts, what does it mean, control the thoughts? Controlling the thoughts means that I do not choose my thoughts right now, or in every moment you can think only one thought. You have only one thought to think in this moment, and the next moment you'll have another one. And it's like in every milliseconds you can have thousands of thoughts, but still in this moment, in the present moment, you can think only one thought. So when I do not choose this thought, and I let the thoughts go stream without control to thoughts like what will happen to me and what people think about me and how will I succeed or not, what is the result? The result is that I'm being controlled by this emotion. The more this emotion is manifested itself in a high level, the less I'm controlling my life. And the result is that you will be unhealthy. This unhealthiness or disease will come in different way. You can see someone that suffers from anxiety at the beginning, his eyes jumping, he's sweating, it's very hard for him to eat. It's like his digestion system does not work right, and all kinds of physical effects that we have when we do not control our emotions, through controlling our thoughts, through choosing what thought to think. So how do we overcome anxiety? Let's understand first the main two roads that we can use, the main two roads that we can walk on in order to overcome anxiety. One road that we will talk about in length is to minimize this emotion, not to let the emotion of anxiety to control me. How do you do that? There are different ways to do that. First way, which is very important one, which is not it's not something that is controlled to our inner understanding. It's called like something that it's under our understanding, and it's very simple thing to understand, hard to do, needs a lot of training, is to control our thoughts. What does it mean to control our thoughts? We'll talk about it, as I said, in length in the next videos. So that's why it's a call for you to help us grow this channel and to. What does it mean to control my thoughts? To control my thoughts means to decide which thought which kind of thoughts I do not let myself think about. If I won't think about what will happen in the future, I will minimize the undesirable emotion, the anxiety. And when I will minimize the anxiety, it won't manifest itself so hard. According to Jewish psychology, one of the major differences between other kind of psychology is that if you do not let the undesirable emotions a place to manifest themselves, to illuminate in the thoughts, they will disappear a little bit, or they will wait there. But when you won't let them manifest themselves in the thoughts, they won't hurt you physically. Why? Because those undesirable emotions are very natural and they are not you. You have to you. It's something to talk about in length. It's not our topic of this discussion, but to minimize the anxiety, what do I need to do? Not to let the anxiety, not to let the emotion manifest in the thoughts, and to do other things, to think on other things, to think of positive thoughts, to be concentrated in the moment, to contemplate a little bit. The more you use your mind, the more you develop your mind, what do? You minimize the emotions because you have larger perspective on things. Now you understand, she hurted me. Now I understand why she hurted me, what she did. The more you have a perspective on history, you read history and you can understand more things. It's not like when you do not think about something, when you do not contemplate about it, when you do not use your mind to understand things, and it happens even without understanding these occasions. She hurted me. Now I want to understand her. I understand that she had she have issues with her husband. She's dealing with things. So now it's easier for me to understand why she talked to me like that. So the more I use my mind, but not only to understand this specific occasion, but to understand also broader things. So just to contemplate or just to learn, the more you learn, the less your emotions control you. Why? Because you use your mind, and your mind is the navigator, is the guide that guide your emotions. So the first road that we have to talk, and there are so many techniques in this road, is to minimize the emotion of anxiety, so it won't hurt us so much, so it won't be so strong and illuminate so strong in our body and in our thoughts, and the result will be, whenever we will be able to weaken this emotion, that we will suffer less physically, because the body will get the right amount of illumination, of liveliness, of animation, the right amount of life power from the soul to the body, without doing some kind of blockage that comes from the undesirable emotion. In Judaism, emotions called, the name of the emotions is measurement. Why measure? Midot. Because when you can measure the emotion, so it's in the right amount, it's in the right level. When you cannot measure it, when it's getting out of measure, when it's too strong, then it's become a blockage, a barrier that do not let other emotions to manifest in you. Think about someone that have very strong sense of will to do great things in life, and you have a life mission, and then his desire controls me, and it controls him, and he does things that are not appropriate to the place he's standing, to what he wants to achieve, to his life mission. What will happen? He will lose his life mission, because this emotion became so strong, and he cannot let him, do or act in the right way. Now he is bargaining, he's fighting about about something that his neighbor did to him, or took his parking place, and he's all upset about your parking place. Why are you dealing with your parking place? You have so many other things to do. So you put yourself, this emotion takes your soul and decrease it from itself, take it down. Like, I take my soul, and now I'm dealing with things that are not appropriate to other very inner and high powers that I have in my soul. So this is the first road. We'll talk about it in length. Let's talk about the other road that we can take in order to win the anxiety and to overcome anxiety. Sorry, and this Other road, it's a very important one. This is the one that I want to talk about. It's not enough to just minimize the undesirable emotion, the negative emotion. Whenever you have emotion, it's a call for you to grow, to see something differently. But usually, when you put yourself, your egocentric point of view, in the middle, you lose this call, and the emotion become developed as a negative one. What does it mean? Let's take a few very fast examples, and then we'll understand the anxiety. When I have depression, what is beyond the depression? It's my wish to influence. Whenever someone that suffers from some level of depression comes to his therapist, to his rabbi, to his doesn't matter whom, he says, I want to influence. I have what to bring to the world. You will never find somebody that is suffering from depression and is not a very unique and high soul and is very talented guy or woman, doesn't matter. And whenever I suffer from depression, it's a call for me to influence, to bring my influence and my value to the world without putting myself in the middle. We are confusing when we are in depression. We're thinking about, I want to influence, but it's not about you. It's about you being able to be a wagon to something else, to your message, to your ideas. And the more you can understand that, you can use the depression before it illuminates so strong. When it's weakened, you can use this emotion in a positive way to push yourself, because this is the whole idea of emotions, to push yourself. The emotions are an engine, to push yourself to be an influencer. That's the idea. And let's think about criticism. The more you criticize people, you can tear apart your family. It's very hard to be next to someone that is always criticizing others. It's very hard. You don't want to be near a person like that. But if what's beyond criticism? Behind criticism is the idea that I want everything to be perfect. I want that things will happen in a better way, that people will do that in a better way. So if you use that in order to do yourself things in a better way, but without being judgmental, without criticizing, without thinking about how you can develop things and make them better, even though you are stop criticizing. So this emotion now it's weakened emotion, but it manifests itself in a positive way. It's the same about jealousy. When you are jealous about something, that means in the negative way that you are not in your place. You want life that are not yours. You want lives of others. So you are losing twice. You do not live your life, and you are living others' life. And you are running after things that you do not really want. What is the positive call that stands behind jealousy? The positive call that stands behind jealousy is that I want to be more. I want to reveal my inner powers more. I see him. I see how he is controlling his life and how he is implementing high ideas in his life, and how he is fulfilling his potential. And I also want to fulfill my potential that way. I don't want his life. I don't want to be like him, but I want to fulfill my life like him. So what's about anxiety? What is the call behind anxiety? When the Israelites, the people of Israel, stood in front of Mount Sinai, the Torah is saying that they are trembling and fearing, and they have anxiety. In Hebrew, the word is anxiety. It's the same word, charadu kolam vechrad kolam. What's the meaning of that? They were afraid from something. What's the meaning of that? Before they got the Torah, before they got the 10 Commandments. Maybe I'll take an example to explain that. We bought a new car, Tesla, and I drove for the first time yesterday with my wife in the Tesla. We drove about 200 kilometers, even more, and my wife drove. I was the driver, and I sat next to her, and every moment I had something to say and to criticize her. And no, be careful from that, don't drive like that, drive like that. And she was like upset. Come on, you want to drive, leave me alone. I don't want to be with you in this car. You are killing me. Let me drive the car. It's okay, it's only a car. Relax. And I finished the driving with, full of stress, and my arms were like, I couldn't move myself. Why? Because I was in stress and some kind of anxiety. What was behind this anxiety? Anxiety, it's a call to give respect, or even more respect, to give awe, to see someone and to give him, to say, okay, I put my confidence on you. And I had anxiety because I wanted to control things. I didn't want to lose control. The whole idea that I wanted to learn to read through this driving, but I couldn't because I was full of stress. We said before, whenever you have stress or anxiety, doesn't matter. Whenever you have negative emotion, your mind is too weak to control, to navigate yourself, to manifest itself, because the emotions controls the thoughts and controls the relation with the body. So I couldn't learn anything, and what was absence of, what I didn't do, I didn't give respect to my wife. Respect, I trust that you will drive the car safely. Whenever you give trust, whenever you have confidence, that means you give respect to the people, to the person that you respect on, you're confident on. Think about it. When we are afraid of someone, we give him respect because we evaluate his capabilities in a very high way. We say, oh, he can harm me. He can do so many things. If I wouldn't respect this guy, I wouldn't be afraid of him. So anxiety is a call, as we said, in front of Mount Sinai. It's a call for bringing respect, for developing in yourself respect to other people. And in order to respect, you have to lose control. Whenever I'm controlling things, I do not give respect because I want to control. I don't count on nobody. The only one that can do the things in the right way is me. When I control you, when I respect you, I'm losing control. Okay, you'll drive. Okay, you'll do the things. Think about a phobia, an anxiety from economical situation. What will happen? Whenever you are thinking, when you are afraid about the economical situation, what is inflation? Inflation, it's a call for you to develop the value that you are bringing to the world. But the more you are busy with yourself, the more that we are busy with ourselves, the more we put ourselves in the middle, instead of bringing respect to the world. What is bringing respect to the economical world, to the markets? It's to see the opportunities. To see film people, count on them. They will buy from you if you give them the right value. Count on people. Count on what will happen. Trust other people. Lose a little bit your wish, your desire to control everything. The more you lose your desire to control, the more confidence you'll have and the more value you're bringing to the world. That's the whole idea. So anxiety, we said we have two trajectories to walk on in order to minimize our anxiety and to control it and to win the anxiety and to not let anxiety control our world. The first trajectory is to minimize this emotion, so it won't manifest in us strongly and control our life. The second trajectory is to use it to our own benefit. How do we use it to our own benefit? What do we do to use it to our own benefit? What do we do? The moment the anxiety starts to appear in us, and we feel it in our thoughts, and you can feel the thoughts that what will happen. This way of thinking what will happen, that means that an emotion of an anxiety wants to control now your life. When I see that, when you have hard anxiety, it's very hard to what you need to do is to lose control and to give more respect, and even more than respect, to nullify yourself and to merge with the thing that you are doing. What is merging? It's like being one with. The whole idea of emotion is to bring you, to connect you with others, to connect you with your spouse, and to bring you to a place that you are finding unity with the things that stand in front of you. It doesn't matter if I love something, I became one with him. This is the highest level of unity that you can find. That's why we need emotions. Without emotion, everything is cold. I don't want you in my life. I don't need you. Oh, I have only an interest relationship, or we do things only because we need it. Without emotions. Emotions are the real game in life. But the more you give them power, the more they control you. The whole idea that you will navigate your emotion and will control the level of the emotion that manifests itself in the thoughts, and then in your whole body, and then in your life. So what we are saying, when you have an emotion, the second trajectory, that means that it's a call to give respect to others, to economical situation, to the markets, to people, to your wife. You see your wife, you give her respect. Now you can sit next to the driver and enjoy your new car and drive safely and finish what you have to learn. Without that, the new car, it's your suffer. It's not something that you gain. It's something that you are losing, because now you are afraid that everything will happen to you or will happen to the car. That's the same in this point of view. So what we have to know is what we have to work on in order to weaken our anxiety is two things. First, work on the first trajectory, which is very important to navigate the thoughts, to find meaning, to broaden our perspective. This is a very major way to weaken our emotion. And the second trajectory that we have to adopt is how to see those moments that they have anxiety, suffer from anxiety, and to do two things: to give away my wish to control things, and in the same time to give respect, to understand what is to give respect. Is to see that I find value in the people that I'm being in touch with. I find value in the future. It's not all about me. I count on people that they will do things in the right way. I count on this reality. I count on my creator that is doing things in my benefit, in the right way, that will, maybe I won't get the things that I want, but things will go in the right way, in the right trajectory if I'll let it go. And this right way maybe won't be what I want, but surely it will be what I need and what is right for me. Okay, I think we spoke enough for today. Jewish Psychology, Bonanut, you're more than welcome to subscribe to our channel, and we think of doing a weekly lesson together to learn from sources from Chasidism and Kabbalah sources. If you want to join us, so we'll leave a link to the WhatsApp group, and you are more than welcome to share your comment. See you in the next episode.